Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Morning Garden Show. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am here today to say one thing to you, and that is one thing, period. Been a rough week. I got through most of it, and we won't go into the details, but trust me. This is the Morning Gardener Show. Hello, how you doing this afternoon? Evening, excuse me. It's now 4 2024. And I'll tell you, folks, it's welcome to the Morning Gardener Show. You can see it right there on my shirt there, Morning Gardener Show. Let's see what I got here going on. I received a gift in the mail. It's a calendar, and this calendar is a beautiful thing, folks. It's beautiful. This calendar. This calendar is what I do each year, and it was kind of slow this year coming. This calendar. Good evening, good evening. Hello, how you doing? Creek Walker 01. Creek Walker 01. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. This calendar is old school because I can use my cell phone to do this, but I like to do it on the calendar. Now, today's date you can see right here is been marked, and that is the 24th. Yeah, 24th. I looked at my computer to double check everything. Doing well. How about you? I'm doing good. You know, I could complain, but I'm not going to do it because it doesn't resolve anything. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Uh, and so here's what happened. This is the date today. I will plant some today. Go down through this calendar here. This is March. So most of the season was supposed to be started around this time, getting this thing on, growing and everything. And this right here is April. Now, our last frost date in April is the 15th, according to the map here in Maryland. If you Google it, last frost date is the 15th here in Maryland. So what I usually do, and I'm not telling anybody else what to do, but this is what I do. Because sometimes on the 15th, we'll still have, you'll put it in the ground on the 15th and you'll get cold. And I don't want to have that happening to me. So what I did, I wait that additional 2 weeks. And when I do that this additional 2 weeks, say that puts my planting date as the 29th of April. And that's what I got. So that's when they go in the ground. Everything will be warm. Everything will be ready to go for the most part. That's for my summertime crops. Keep that in mind. My summertime crops, I'm going to wait that additional 2 weeks. And some things will go in a little earlier than that. So, for instance, like potatoes, white potatoes, and other things like other herbs that I get away with putting in earlier. And that's going to be fine. They don't mind temperatures being at 40, 50 degrees at night, that sort of thing. But the summertime crops are very, very, very funny about being put in too early. You can stunt them. You can stun them, and that could cause problems with the growth habits of the plant. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. It's time to get things going in the ground, and I'm so excited about that. I also looked at my my eggshell supply earlier. You see these right here, folks. These we talked about last week. This is a free resource that you can put into your garden. These are eggshells. I simply put them in the. I have an older blender, and since the blades are kind of dull, until I upgrade the blades, I put the eggshells in there and turn them into this. A powdered eggshells goes into certain pots and plants, and it is a nutrient or a soil. Oh, look at that! It's actually a fertilizing material that you can put into the ground, and it works out pretty good because what else are you gonna do with the eggshells, right? What else are you gonna do? I used to take the eggshells and put the cartons and everything inside my compost pile and just cover them over. If you get the paper cartons that the eggs come in, you put the paper carton along with the eggs shells inside the cart and just close it and leave it in there. And the worms don't do nothing but eat through all of it. And, and I like doing that. I like taking old bills. That's one of my favorites. Taking old bills remove the plastics from them, the plastic materials from them, and then just take all the old bills and stick them underneath the compost pile and close it in, and it's all set. That's what I like to do. So that helps out a great deal. Um, is there any questions at all anyone have? If not, then we're going to keep moving forward. I have my plants over here. I'm going to show you my plants in a second. Let's see, hold on for a second, and we'll take a look at these plants. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping an eye on these plants. These are earlier. These are hardy kiwi, prolific. Excuse me, and it is harvest early summer and fall, self-pollinating. Self-pollinating, folks. You can't beat that. This is being sold now at Home Depot. I'm telling people to go out and get this one here. Make sure you get that one. This one here, this is up in the air. I call it up in the air because this is the one here. These are pomegranate. These are wonderful pomegranate. In my zone, it's iffy if you can get these things to grow right because they do not care for the cold here, and so that's how that rolls down here. So if you see all the growth on them, people that saw what was here at first when I first brought these here to the house, they did not have all this growth on them. I'm using some of my secret sauce fertilizer, and it is really causing these things to really grow. Now, just morning time, sometime today, I'll check these and make sure they got enough moisture in them. And the way you do that, see, when they leave them in the store, once this comes in the store, it comes in a bag like this. It comes from the factory, and when it comes from the factory, it simply is moist, the right temperature and everything. Hello, how you doing there? Food Forest Permaculture. Good to hear from you, brother. This right here comes in the store. It is perfect. It's got the right nutrients in it. It's got the right amount of everything in it, water and everything. So it dries out while it's sitting in the store. And then all this will die back in the store, and I'll go ahead and get them for $1 instead of paying this price for them. But I got them this time around because I don't want to miss out on them. This ensures that I get one of them. Now, I'm feeling in this soil, put my finger down in it. This is the best indicator you have to tell it whether your plants need water. We all learned that early on, hopefully. Now, I feel moistness. And so that means I will leave this alone. This is a plant that doesn't mind a little drought, which is the pomegranate, doesn't mind a little bit of a drought. And so I'm going to let that be. I'm not going to keep it watered too heavy because it doesn't appreciate being watered too heavy. I'm just twisting this push tie back together, and I'll leave this little opening here. So if I need to add water, I can pour it right down through here. This is not. I guess this is going to be one of my favorite plants. But the only thing I do not like about this plant, two things actually I do not like about this plant, is this plant is prone to get really big. This plant gets really big. So once it gets some size to it, then it doesn't really do well. And this is at the tail end of where this says grow in zone 7. I'm in zone 7B. This says zone 7 to zone 10. And that's where I'm at right now. A goji berry, let's see, is that no, this is a pomegranate. Wonderful. And I love this plant, but it looks like it says this, what doesn't say on the boxes, there's very little information on these boxes. But this says in zones, when you go online and you look it up, you say a wonderful pomegranate growing zone. It'll say from 7 to 10. So that being said, I nursed this thing and it's getting just as big and pretty. And it wasn't like this one. You should saw it when I bought it. Because I always say when they grow some of this stuff, it looks pretty pathetic when you buy it. You know, but you gotta remember they're on a timeline, they rushing everything. As soon as they get enough leaves on it to indicate that it's not just sticks and it's got some leaves on it, they ship it out. When I get it home, I turn it into this. with all this long growth on here, all these laterals that are coming out. I did that with using my secret sauce, which is basically a fertilizer that is free. And so that being said, I like using I like this plant. This plant is wonderful. Oh, by the way, that's the name of it. Anyway, this one here, this is a hardy kiwi. Don't like wet roots, but I pull it up a little bit like this, and I'm gonna check this one as well for moisture, because these plastic bags are you know, they're plastic bags. They water the bag when they bag all this stuff up, and you don't want to have them in here and they dry. Now this one's this one here is moist. It's got moisture to it. Hello, how you doing, Mr. Price? We haven't forgot about you. I always say that to Mr. Price because, you know, he knows what I'm talking about. I want him to know we ain't forgot about him. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I don't like this. This is growing in the bag. They got little growth inside the bag. So now I got to move the bag down some so that little growth can come up like it's supposed to. Because I want every piece of this to live. I like a healthy, strong plant. Now these are getting ready to go in the ground very soon. Especially this one called the this is the hardy kiwi. Now I want to tell you folks about a couple experiences that I've had with the hardy kiwi, and it goes like this. I've tried 4 different occasions, on 4 different occasions to plant. And a lot of times, remember now, I got kiwis. Back in the day, they used to sell a lot of kiwis that are not prolific. Those these are self-pollinating. This one here is self-pollinating. So this is a wonderful thing right here, a self-pollinating kiwi. Now I have another one outside called Isaiah kiwi. It's supposed to be self-pollinating. Have never got. It grew something look like fruit, and then it goes away, and I don't know where it is. Maybe the birds are eating them or something. But this right here is supposed to produce, you know, actual kiwi. These are different shaped kiwi than the ones I have outside. The other ones are shaped like acorns. Excuse me, shaped like acorns when they grow. Different animal. In other words, what my point I'm trying to make here. And I bought that on I bought that years ago on eBay. Was it eBay? Yeah, eBay. So I'm almost looking good here, folks. What do you think? Talking about the plant. Okay, here we go. So you get. Oh my goodness! I need to get this plant out here. So I'm gonna take my time and do it right. Okay, there we go. Because I want that green growth to come up out of it. See how I wrapped it? So it little teeny little green growth. I want that out there too. The more of these branches I have, the better off I am. Because when you put them outside, let me tell you what usually happens in my location. We have, and when I say we have a lot of cats in our area, we do. We do. Last year, all the rats ate all the cats up. So we are now getting our numbers back up. Starring rats always eating up the cats. But at any rate, the plants, when you put in a hardy kiwi, for some reason, cats dig those suckers up. They dig them up, take them off, or sometimes they do other things. But they go for your kiwi plant. Why? No idea. So the only way to put these in the ground is to make certain that you put a wiring around it. Wiring. You know, I got to do one that's about 3 feet tall. Put it around it, mount it to the ground, so that they don't get in there. Because what they do is they dig the plant up. Now, this being the last plant I have right now, the last thing I need is for some cat to dig it up. Now, these plants, once I get them started, no, excuse me, this is the wrong one. This one here is the kiwi. Once I get the kiwi started, I'm going to take cuttings. I'm going to put at least 2 more plants. I'm going to start 2 more plants. And the reason why I'm starting 2 more plants, because instead of having, these are a possibility once they get about maturity, they can produce up to 200 pounds of fruit per plant. I want to do 2 more up in the number or the mass of fruit that I can grow. Because I have a pretty long growing area. I can put these down there and have I can run them across maybe 6 plants, but they grow pretty massive, these plants here. So you just can't just, do anything you want to do. This plant here is going to be my stud plant because I'm going to make a lot of plants out of it. Now, some of the plants will be made available to other people. These plants will be made available. But I want the hardy kiwi because it's one of the healthiest foods you can eat. It has a very high levels of vitamin C, and it is by far considered to be a really super food to eat. And that's why you want to grow kiwi. And when I saw them at Home Depot, now I still have time. There's still a couple more of these plants left. And I can wait till tomorrow and drive up to one of the Home Depots and grab one of these plants. But do I want to grab one at $10 a pop? To me, I have a budget, and that budget says don't spend all of your money. And I can't take this back up there and trade it in after I grew it up like this. You know what I mean? Because people are going to grab this one first. They're going to say, oh my God, this will be the biggest one there. It'll be the biggest one there. I've seen what they got in there. It's looked pretty pathetic when you put it alongside this one. So this here is going to be kept fed, kept watered, kept near the window. That's where it is right now. And when the soil can be worked, this will go into the ground, and it will be fencing put around it to keep the cats off of it. That's right, keep the cats off of it. I don't play around with this one. This one's got to be nurtured. And once that it takes hold to the ground, and I see noticeable growth, then I'll start and I'll fertilize it. I've said to people over again, when you put a plant in the ground, especially a tree, when you just started a tree out, you put it in the ground. When you get that tree in the ground, you make certain that you do not go in there watering and over watering is a killer. The next thing you don't want to do is put a whole bunch of compost and fertilizer in there. You can do that. Look at this. Good afternoon, good people. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for stopping in, Missy Grando. I want you to understand that the reason why you do not want to fertilize a plant immediately, like a tree or a bush, or like these plants here, when you put them in the ground, is because you want them to get familiar with your soil, to the chemical or the makeup of your soil. And when you do that, you're going to be fine. You're going to see that your plant is going to do excellent. Make certain that it takes hold, and then you go around and do a side dressing of a fertilizer. Something like some 10-10-10. Some people would recommend, I recommend using nice, gentle fertilizer, such as a natural fertilizer, and then you're all set. You're all set. I could actually use this if I wanted to. Eggshells. I could actually use the eggshells when I go to fertilize. I mean, it takes a while to break down now. This is not a fast fertilizer, but this is a great fertilizer because of 2 things. 1, it supplies nutrients, and 2, it's free. Blackberry King, the ground, roses, thorns, needles, branches that make it. Okay, yeah. I gotta say one thing to you there, Food Farmers Permaculture. It goes like this. I love blackberries, and I'm so behind on them right now because what I did is I did not keep all those plants cared for when I had all these plants everywhere. I was giving them away, and you know how that is when you want to give people plants. And I was giving them away, and I gave my neighbor one next door, good gentleman, and I tried to get him in the garden. I got him into growing blackberry plant. It's gonna take some time. Now, the blackberry plant that I gave him was same as mine, grew like a son of a gun when I gave it to him. I mean, he put it in an area over there next to an old rotted log that somebody cut down a tree maybe 20 years ago, and all this rotted material. And I remember feeling that material. And I said, "Oh my God!" I said. He said, "What? What?" And I said, "This is just pretty stuff right here." And I said, "And you grew this right next to it." And all that plant did was go down and tap into that tap into that soil. Well, this rotted tree with these rotted roots on the ground that's been nourishing this soil for all these years took hold of this plant, and his plant grew so pretty. But we neglected to do one thing, which was head it off at about 4 feet, because when you grow a blackberry bush and you cut it off at about 4 feet, they bush outward, and that's a good thing you wanted to do, because instead of getting a cane or canes that are 16 and 20 feet long, growing a few berries, you can get canes that are 4 feet tall and let them bush out, and you'll get numbers of berries. I want to go there. Did you get any of the blueberry plants from Home Depot? No, I didn't get any of the blueberry plants from Home Depot, because they tend, what I bought from them and what I bought online is those varieties that grow those little teeny, small blueberries. I like to kind of grow the big blueberries, and I haven't been able to run across those as of yet. Also, blueberries, I like growing them. I still have some out on my property. I might care for them this year. I might not care for them this year. I just don't. It's just been a kind of a letdown. I mean, I got 4 plants out there. There are 4 plants. If you plant them in ground, you got to really stay on top of them, because they really need a lot of care as far as keeping that soil at the right pH. That's what you got to concentrate on when you put them in the ground. And you put them in pots, they're a lot easier to care for, because you can actually put some peat moss in, mix it in with the soil, and it'll help us acidify the soil, and it's just a better deal. Once you get the soil acidified, you got a plant that's growing the way you want it to grow. And the soil, you got to add the acidifier, which I usually get a bale of peat moss. I put it around the plants. I don't really work it in. I just put it around the plants, and each year I grow beautiful plants. Berries grow up nice and healthy. Birds get them every year after they get, and I could actually get the bird netting, but I choose not to. Let's see. Patio blueberries are the largest. Okay, most pear plants. Thank you very much for permaculture. Yeah, because they grow little sweet, small berries, the ones I have, and then the birds eat them all up. Once they get, and they wait till them, they get right about getting ready to ripen, and you come home from work the next day, and all of them gone. Every last one of them gone. You say, "Oh my goodness!" They sat there and cleaned every last one of them. So I kind of lost interest in them. Long story short, I lost interest in the blueberries. They do the same thing with grapes now. They put it like this: the birds have learned. They're not thinking about it anymore. They've already learned to come to my property and eat up my grapes, eat up my blueberries, eat up my what they call them things, cherries. I have, how many cherry trees I have now? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6, and I lost it due to nematodes that ate the roots away from the tree. And I was sad to see that one go because it was doing well, it was producing well, and then all of a sudden something went wrong one year, and I started looking at it. It started producing less leaves and more fruit, something that a tree would do, that's panicking and saying, "Hey, I need to get my seeds off and produce more of me." And it did that, and then didn't come back the following year. and I started rocking the tree back and forth. I said, wait a minute, this tree appears not have any root attached to it. And the tree definitely lost the ability to survive. And so it was removed. It was put in an area where it was just sad. It was just a really sad thing. It was a sad thing. I said, I planted mulberry trees to divert the person. Wait a minute, Mr. Price, you are an incredible individual. You are an incredible. Now you got me thinking. I got a date scheduled for a tree cutter to come around and cut down the remainder of these old mulberry trees. And the birds do eat the mulberries. Now, the mulberries are growing so big throughout my property, and you just got me thinking that I need to take the mulberries and use them as a diversion, because that's what I was using them as. And then when they started getting too big and too bold, then I was like, let me call this tree person, come down and cut these trees down and remove them. And now I'm thinking, uh-oh, you just made me think. When I thought about that, it has been used as diversion for the birds. And so I think what I'm going to do is change my plans up now. I'm going to remove most of the tree so it's not blocking the sun completely from my garden. And that's what I need done. Thank you, Mr. Price. Thank you. Because, I mean, yeah, all of us can learn from somebody else. And he brought that up, and it's got me thinking now. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't want the tree gone. I want it trimmed up. I want this large arm taken off that's draped over, blocking my trees, my fruit trees. And then I want another tree that's grown in front of it to be knocked all the way down, because it's just, I call it trash tree. I don't know the name of the tree. And I want to do that. I want to do that. Get it. Say, I said, you have to work at it and around the bluebird, like the blackbird. I said, blackbird. I said, wood ash. Oh, wait a minute. I say, food farmers put something in there. Let me see what we got here. I said, you have to work at it and cardboard. Wood ash. Okay, and the neighbors. Okay, I got to call my neighbor too. I want to make sure he understands that very soon we have a tree person going to be coming in and cutting down a lot of these trees. Greeting, Morning Gardener, and everyone in the house. Thank you very much for stopping by. I think I stopped by and looked at your page a couple of days ago. Nature 9 and Family. I think I did. I came by your page. In my opinion, I say this one thing. I've been looking at what you've been doing, and I'm very proud of you. I think that you are starting. Let's see what I got here going on here. Let me see something here. I'm trying to do something here, folks. What I'm trying to do here. I think that you're doing quite well. And the thing about it, and look at this. This computer's moving extremely slow. Why is it doing that? Okay. Yeah. It's like you're buying all the right things. You're buying all the right trees that you're putting in. And I'm proud of that. Now, when you put the trees in, I don't know. 2 weeks ago, when you showed the video of the trees, I'm wondering if you are in fact, um, cutting those trees off at about knee height, so that you can get the proper development on the scaffolding branches. I tell people to do that. Some people haven't felt comfortable with doing it, but when you cut it off at your knee at a 45-degree angle, those trees will start branching out. It looks horrible when you first do it, like you just killed your tree, but you haven't. You get a sharp pair of secateurs and you clean them up with some alcohol, and you cut it off. And when you cut it off at that height of your knee, they will start branching out, and you will have all your fruit all the time right in front of you, and as opposed to looking up at your fruit. You don't want to be doing that. Because when they branch on their own, they will set branches higher usually. Let's see. Let's see. Busy about great day to you. Let's see. And see wood ash and biochar. Well, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now biochar, burnt wood. Um, and it's not the same as the ashes from your pellet stove, correct? It's not the same thing. Uh, I've always wondered that, even though when you put something inside of a pellet stove, it burns it all the way down to where it's almost non-existent powder. That's what it is. Today is the first time, the way the temperature are today is the first time my furnace got a rest. Because it is, my furnace has not come on in almost God knows it. It has not come on in a long time. Its furnace is off. See the temperature there. Furnace has not come on. It's 70. It's 67 degrees in here. Feels pretty toasty to me. So, feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. I'm looking at Nature 9 and family bought some trees and they look great. And he bought them and it was a great deal. Put them in the ground. I hope you don't fertilize them. I know you already put them in the ground by now, maybe, but baby. But if they haven't been put in the ground, I'd water them in that bag. I'd hold on to them, keep them there where they get a little bit of sun. And I would wait until the time to put them in the ground if you haven't put them in it yet. And I wouldn't fertilize them. I'll put them in the ground and water them in. And after I water them in, I'd cut them off at that, like they say, the height of the knee, and at 45-degree angle. And when you do that, you're going to be set. And once they start leafing out or they start swelling, a few of the buds or they produce buds, then you start fertilizing them, and you'll be happy with the results. You'll be happy with the results as opposed to leaving the natural structure or the structure that they pruned it into at the store. Those they usually prune it up too high, and they don't produce well. But you did a smart thing, because what's going to happen? Food is going to get scarce because of the cost of it. We're going to sell a lot of food this year overseas. We also have a situation where the seed supplies are low. Went to my favorite store, which is Walmart, and they had all of these, and it wasn't a lot, but it was they had a whole bunch of potatoes and garlic. It used to say everything looked pathetic. It was the smallest little pieces of garlic that they had on there for like $9 a bag. It was like 3 cloves of garlic. I mean, not 3 cloves, but three garlics, 3 bulbs of garlic. And they had that, and then they had sweet potatoes, little tiny little things that they wanted an arm and a leg for. The other thing was the seeds are not in the store yet at the Walmart that I go to. Lowe's have them and Home Depot had them. And I'm going to tell you what they're doing. They got them there now. This weather now is starting to break. Go there in another 3 or 4 weeks and see what you see. They're grabbing everything right now, grabbing off the shelf. And so I started out early this year. Some of you would have watched some of my videos, had an opportunity to. You will see that the supplies like fertilizers are stacked right now. They're going to be knocking that down. The seeds right now in those stores, you're going to start seeing them shelves empty out. I'm already set. I hope I'm making the right decision. I have enough seeds right now. And I got some seeds that, like I said, the winners at Winnie Seeds, and so they'll have some seeds. They'll have they have enough to do their whole season in one of these bags. And when you see what they have, And hopefully we'll be doing another seed giveaway from this page right here, because the person at the company liked the job that we did here. He saw that the people were interested, that they were excited about the product, and he also liked the way I presented the seeds and the information that I gave about the seeds. And so I'm very proud of that. I know that, and I know he's very excited about it as well. But there were quite a few people that are still waiting on seeds. Please patient. They're coming. They're on their way. Now, I want to also say that if we do another contest, I don't know what he's going to present, but he said he had a bit of a surprise. So I want to see what's going on. So that's got my interest up. And so we are definitely looking forward to growing as much food as possible. And I want to point this out here. A lot of you, we are saying, grow what you're going to grow and save some of your seeds. Trust me. This ain't over with yet, folks. Save your seeds. It's going to get ugly. And you need to grow corn. You need to grow beets. You need to grow whatever you want to grow, and make sure you grow plenty, enough of it. And so, and fruit is also a staple in your garden. Should be a very beautiful thing to have in your garden. And I want you to start thinking about that too. These trees are expensive now. There are no cheap trees online. If you find a store that's selling trees like I did years ago that are $10 trees, be skeptical. Listen to me. Be skeptical, because it might be the same company that got me for hundreds of dollars, and I was buying them, and they kept dying and dying and dying. And I kept saying, oh, well, they're a bargain because I'm getting them for $10. Well, they're not a bargain when you get the wrong trees, when you're also getting trees that are coming in the mail dead. And then when you got to wait on them the next year for them to say, oh, your tree died. Well, we got a lot of orders we're putting out. So what we're going to do is the beginning of next season, we will send you free trees for the ones that died on you. So you're waiting another whole year for trees. Don't do it. Go to somebody that's reputable and get your trees from. And I'm telling people to do that because I'm a firsthand experience. I went through it. Thought I was getting a bargain, and I was not getting a bargain. Somebody like that I'm dealing with right now. The only thing I don't like about Stock Brothers is their main thing the main thing that they have a lot of, as far as fruit trees, is apple trees. They have apple trees. Now they're starting to put posters up saying out of this, out of that, out of this, out of they're starting to put those up, and the season haven't even started yet. But I digress. I'm doing good. I'm looking at what is going on, and it is wonderful. The people are definitely getting things planted. I'm noticing that because they chiming in on a channel like mine, and my channel is kind of survival, kind of grow it because you need it, and have fun at it while you do it. And that's where I'm at right now. I want to see people grow stuff and eat healthy. The kids and asking, Dad, where's these plums come? They come off of that tree there? Yes, that's where they come from, darling. It's plums. And these plums are definitely good, aren't they? How do they taste to you? They taste pretty good, Dad. They're better than the grocery stores. Yes, they are. All natural, Dad. Natural? Yes, dear. Natural. And so that's how they do it. So you want to make certain that you're teaching your family also how to grow food. I should be downstairs right now, putting some seeds in the ground because I know I want to do peppers. I got the pan set up, everything set up, and I'm growing it. The peppers are going to be grown in bulk. The tomatoes are going to be grown in bulk, and that's how that's going to roll down here. It's going to be grown in bulk. And people say, well, I said, how do you jam your? No, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for many years. Hello, everyone. Hello, how you doing there, young lady? How you doing? Just popped into the room to see what's going on. Oh, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Ooh, I had a list of some things that I was doing with my garden as far as organizing and prepping things out. And I am going to have to change some of the things in here. Not a lot, but I will change some of the things in here. I can't wait, folks. I'm a happy person when it comes to doing this garden thing. It's got me all over the place. I got a problem. I just like to grow stuff. I'm at work. And I'm sitting there on my cell phone, mapping out my garden. I'm at work. I'm sitting there mapping out what seeds I need for next year. What planting program am I going to use? Absolutely. And most people grow the standard way. And a lot of that works, but I like these people they're like from another planet, the way they grow stuff. I like to see them go. I like the I don't know. I don't want to say she's Korean but she was growing the beautiful garden. And you know where I'm going at. Some of you just saw me talking about this. I saw this on YouTube, and I will never forget it. I will never forget it. I'm strolling through, looking at what I normally would look at as far as and this lady at work was right. I need to press this shirt. It's clean, but I need to press it. She was growing lettuce, tomatoes. No, wait a minute. I know it was lettuce, but it was another plant. Another couple of plants she was growing. She was growing them in cracks of bricks. She had a house here, and in front of looked like a building that was hers, where you walk out towards like it could have been an alley, it could have been a street, but she was putting the seeds in the cracks, and then it showed the how neat they were when they're growing. And these were cracks. Like I said, they were cracks. And inside these cracks, she had a bit of, it looks like a sandy kind of soil. And and they were growing, and all these big, beautiful heads of Chinese lettuce was growing in these cracks. And she was feeding them and watering them and taking care of them. And they weren't just, and then she had them growing up on the side of the wall on some of the houses. They're growing different plants on the side of the walls. And she would dig out some of the mortar of the brick and put in the plants. Incredible, absolutely incredible to me to be that determined about gardening, to actually grow in cracks. And if you look at the cracks, it did not show up putting a whole bunch of fertilizer, it didn't show up putting a whole bunch of compost and all that sort of thing. None of that was being done. She simply put the seeds in the cracks, and they didn't talk a lot about what she was feeding the plants, but they were the biggest and prettiest. She would put most farmers to shame with the quality of the produce she was producing from these cracks. And then it showed her harvesting the product, which she would just cut it off like you normally would if you was, harvesting lettuce. And it was just a beautiful thing. And I was just amazed at this. I saw that on Facebook. It is, did you see the same thing I said? Amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wait a minute. 2 days ago, I went to your channel. You are a chef. I looked at that and I said, this is the channel I need to get with when I start doing stuff with my fruit trees, when I start trying to find out ways to, because see, I don't know much about, I worked in some restaurants, but I was never at that level. You know what I mean? I was never at that level. I could prep some stuff. You show me what to do, I could prep it. When they gave me the lobsters to put in the steamer, they say you take the knife and you shove it right down through their head, and you put them all in there, and you set it for this temperature and for this long and everything. I felt bad for the lobsters. And then they had me cooking the ducks, which was you cook them on their back for so many minutes, and you flip them over on their breast for so many minutes, and you pull them out. I think it was how it was done. But, and it was expensive, so that they didn't want me burning the ducks up. So I did a good job of those with the ducks. And then they made big, huge pots. Like they had pots that you could put a whole human being in. That's how big the pots were. And they would take the lobster shells and different ingredients and vegetables and all, they put them in there and they make what they call a stock. Or they would do that with the ducks, or they would do that with the chicken, or they would do that with the beef bones or whatever. And they would make these stocks. And they sold that food for a lot of money. But when I went to your channel, long story short, because I'm making that long as I don't know what, I apologize for that, folks. But I looked at the items you have on your channel, and they were just simply beautiful, and they would look tasty. And I was like, wow. I said, look at this. I said, she is a chef. And I said, so everything she grow is going to come to a beautiful togetherness at the dinner table. And I looked at that and I said, wow. I said, wow. Because I have a hard time sometimes. Now, I'm getting into canning very soon. I'm gonna get into canning because and that's another product that's gonna go through the roof. I never thought about that until now. The whole thing about it is you're gonna have to deal with things like jars are going to go up, that sort of thing. So I got to keep that in mind. They're going to go up because people are going to be storing more. When the demand goes up, they're going to see it and they're going to say, okay, up the price on it. Well, they already see it and they say, okay, up the price on it. But when I went to your page, I saw all these interesting items. They looked so good. It was appetizing to not only, it was just appetizing to your belly. When you look at the pictures and you said, wow, she did a good job and very professional looking site. And I'm putting you out there because the kitchen with Sandy, the kitchen with Sandy. I just, and you're not a big person. You're not a big person, but you grow foods that would make a person a big person if they eat too much of it. So that being said, I'm mostly plant-based, but I do not eat fish. Okay. Let's see. We were talking about fish today. We were talking about fish, and I got to get back into fishing because I'm like Food Farmers Permaculture. I mean, I like what this guy does. I like what this guy does. Food Farm Permaculture not only brings home the vegetables and he brings home the fruit, but then again, he go out there and go to the water, get with some of his boys, and he brings in these fish, and they're fresh. And you take that, you put it together. That's how you do it, folks. I'm talking about living better than some of the wealthiest people in the world. When you could go outside your back door, stay with me, folks. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. You go outside your back door, and when you go outside that back door, you got fresh, the best soil growing, the finest, the absolute finest mustard greens, or you're growing the best spinach or Swiss chard, or you're going out there and you're picking the freshest and most beautiful apples, and you're making some of the world's best apple pie out of it. Oh my God. Excuse me, folks. I'm drooling a little bit. And you get, and he would go get these fish, and he would show you these fish, and he know you're hungry. You know you're hungry when he's showing you this. And so you would see it out there, and you would say, living off the land. Couldn't have said it better. But let's go just a little bit deeper. When you're getting those fresh vegetables, whether it be potatoes, and I'm gonna tell you something. I used to think potatoes was a boring kind of a vegetable that who really cares type of vegetable. But one day I grew some of my own, and I put them in an oven, and I baked them. They were just white potatoes. I thought, they were done. And I put some butter in them, and I noticed that they were creamy. And I never got that out of one from the market. From the market. I don't know why. I don't know what they grew on it with. I don't know what, kind of potatoes they were. But the ones I grew were creamy and full bodied. And I said, wait a minute. And they had flavor to them. Potatoes had flavor. So I said, I'm growing some potatoes this year. And these potatoes I was given by a friend. She gave me some potatoes. And I said, okay. And I was supposed to have eaten them. Supposed to have been eating them, but I didn't. I just saved them as seed potatoes. And now the growing things on them are like that. They're in a box. I closed the lid on the box, left them sitting in that area, and they're about that long. Some of them 12 inches long. And they will go in the ground and they will produce me some potatoes this year. That's all I want to say on that note. So when you grow food and you growing it and you're picking it fresher and you're putting the beautiful ingredients in it, like Miss Sandy here is doing, you are absolutely creating something that's beautiful. Fresh garlic, fresh herbs, and you're cutting them up and you're making pesto sauces and all kind of stuff. Oh my God. You're creating food that human beings, you couldn't eat better on this planet. You cannot eat better. And that's the great thing about it. You can't eat better. And when you eat like that, they would say, well, here's a bunch of people who are not making $10 and $20 million a year, but they're eating better than we are. How is that? Or if they're eating just as well as you are, they're just breaking even. Because you're getting yours, they got to get theirs. They got to get a professional chef to go out and get the stuff, pick the stuff, go to the best farmer, get the best grown hog, the best grown corn, and he got to get the best grown lettuce and Swiss chard, and he's bringing all this stuff together, get all the ingredients together. But you're just going out your back door. The water to the corn that you're boiling is already boiling. You cut the corn down, you shuck it, you leave the shucks right there on the ground. They go back into the ground, and you take the corn in the house and you put them in this hot pot of water. The corn is still alive. The corn is still alive. It's still alive, yes. Chop and drop. That's it, chop and drop. I believe in that like it's a religion. And I got to tell you, since you brought it up, Food Fathers Permaculture, chop and drop is so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I will be the one, because I got a lot of vines that reach. When my knee got hurt this year, I hate to keep bringing that up because it was so sad. I was down for 7 weeks. But at any rate, I'm lucky to be back up and walk, because they were talking about, well, you have to get in there and operate. And I said, well, what's wrong with it? Well, when you fell and you bent it, you tore up the back of your knee. Okay. So you're going to go in there and cut some more stuff up, make it a little worse, huh? Well, yes, everybody got to make a living, right? No, let me stop. That's not what he said. But it seemed like they seemed to want to go in there and operate on stuff. But what happened was, the vines that I got on my property when I brought in the wood chips. Yes, when I brought in the wood chips. These vines were in there with the wood chips, and now they're all throughout my area. And this year, I'm going to do something about that. But at any rate, the vines grow all up, and they covered my trees. They covered my trees like a canopy. And they were choking off my trees. They were choking off the grapevines and everything. Now this year, I am coming back with a vengeance, said the Lord. Yes, I'm coming back. And I said, these vines have got to give back my yard. And on top of that, I have this situation where every time I go out to the yard, tell me if any of you ever have this situation. You go out to the yard, you get to mess around out there. It's springtime, the pollen's everywhere. You go, achoo, 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 and all through, and your eyes are all watery, and you're just all over the. And that's how I get when I go in the yard. And I was like that years ago. but it wasn't as bad as it is now. It's just gotten worse. I don't know if that's all a figment of my imagination, but let's see. This why we want to God. You teach fantastic, and that's right. That's right. That's right. Should talk, eat everything. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I try. I try. Food follows permaculture. I try. Let's see. That's why we that's what we were thinking. Yeah. Thank you very much. I mean, I just got to tell you, uh, I look at my garden. It's like my private food market. I go in there, got my little cart with it was the basket out of an old refrigerator, and you hold the tray up, and this is like a tray, and I go out there and I put in the items in corn, or I say, I'm gonna get some. Oh, look at that okra's ready. Pop, pop, pop. Put some okra in there. Oh, look at this right here. Beautiful bell peppers. Pop, pop, pop. Take those, and whatever else I want to get, and then I wash them down. And you know that I already store my water outside, but I have an issue with my water. For some reason, I think my tanks have leaves in them, and so the tank is one of the tanks is full of water, and the other ones are not. And I think what happened is it washed off the roof into the tank, and it's got the tanks blocked up with leaves. So that being said, I got to unblock it now. Do I want to cut all that PVC loose and figure out what's going on? No, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to try to do is force air through the tanks. Open it up on one end and force air through the tanks and see if I can get them leaves to move around. If I get them to move around, water start trickling down and coming down, it'll wash out a lot of that old leaf material. And then when I cut down, cut the trees back on the property, that I can definitely um, get everything back the way I want it to be, where the branches aren't up that high, so they drop the leaves on the roof in the first place. And so that's how that works. Folks, I have been talking your ears off. I know you're upset about that. I know I can understand it, but I get on a rampage about gardening. I love it so much that it just drives me crazy. I just love it. And I'm all set. I got tons and tons of everything I need, and I'm still up in the air. I love the fact that this year is making me think. When them locusts get here, oh, what are they going to do to our gardens? Are they going to interfere with our garden? Are the locusts going to tear apart our gardens when they swarm through, or are they going to mostly be in the trees up high and deal with that? Or they're going to be ripping and eating up all the cabbage and collard greens you could possibly, and are they going to be paying the bill on the way out and saying, thank you very much for all you've done? They're not going to do that. They're going to just come here. And then again, they're not talking very much on the news is about how long will the 17 locusts stay? Well, let's find out right now. We're all together. We family. We're family. We're family, as Bernie Mac would say. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Hey, Google. Hey, Google. How long will a 17-year locust stay around?
According to cicadamania.com, the cicada will stay underground from 2 to 17 years depending on the species.
That's not what I asked. Okay, Google. How long after they come out of the ground, the 17-year locust, how long will they be around with us?
Here are the top search results.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another slick way of them saying they really don't know. Cicadas are coming out after 17 years. They will. And this is talking about March, around in March. March the 27th. Okay. Let's see. Once out, once they're out of the ground, their lifespan is fairly short. somewhat between 2 and 4 weeks. Okay. Now, see, now I like this. What you put up there, you put between 6 and 4 weeks, and they're saying here between 2 and 4 weeks. So within that span there, yes, that's correct. That's correct. I am telling you, and you got the answer quicker than I did. That's why I like being on this. I like being on this thing. She said, the person said, click, 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 click. And they was on there. All right, there you go. There you go, Morning Garden. There you go. But the thing about it is cicadas. Do we fry them up and dip them in chocolate and eat them? Or do we just let them go about their own way? More after these brief messages. I don't know. I see some of the advertisements on the internet, and they show people with them all wrapped up in like the candy gift papers you give away, and they like chocolate cicadas. And of course, we will be seeing some of the recipes all over the internet once they come out, and they'll be saying, "Hey, try them like this, boil them and put them in soup, or scoop them all together, throw them into your compost pile." After you find the dead remains, they're gonna be everywhere. You'll be sweeping them things up everywhere. Let's see, missing Grando. Okay, she got the symbols of someone or something crying twice. I think you said that they're going to be leaving, or yeah, because the cicadas are coming, and when they come, they're going to be gone, and we're going to be like. Now, I used to use them when they would fly, and this wasn't the 17-year one. This was the one that comes out, and there was quite a few of them. So I was using them as bait. I was using them as bait when I was out fishing. I was hooking them through and dropping them. And the only thing about them, they're so big and loose when you put them on there that the fish usually just wind up knocking them off. When they eat them, they just knock them off. You see the folk just do like that. And the bait's already gone. Oh, my goodness, I can't wait. I got a compost pile sitting up there with about 400 pounds of compost. I bought 960 pounds of compost this year, which is way overkill, but I want it anyway. I'm one of those kind of people. Clay mixed in the solution of the soil spray. Okay, locate can eat a plant on the gun. Okay. Clay mixed solution of water sprayed onto the plant. Thank you very much. You know something? You're a wealth of knowledge, sir. You are a wealth of knowledge, food, farmers, permaculture. This man is like I said, like a scientist. He comes on and that's what he does. That's what he does. And we got to go. I remember when I first went on his channel, I went over there and he had all these recipes on there about eating these foods that he made from liquid into a liquid. And I was looking at that going, damn, it looks like it's healthy. I said, it looks like a good deal. And as the clay to gritty. Oh, okay. Yeah. I have plenty of clay soil to make into what I have to do. Hello, how you doing, Miss Miller? Hello, just stopped into the room to see how everything was going. At the time, I'm almost out of here, but we can still stay around for a few and see what we're talking about. Now, why is it that some of you might think that my show with the content that it has is not bigger? Could it have been because of the technology I'm using to come to you? I mean, is my sound and image clear enough? Is it what is it? Is it, some people say, Morning Garden, we like your show. Morning Garden, we love your show. We like it. Here's what you could do better. And I was like, okay, I'm open to some suggestions, because once I tailor my show to the way people want to go about, then it's going to be a better deal. It's your only defense is clay. Your only defense. Now that's saying something right there. That means that for 6 weeks. Now, when a cicada goes for your crops, here's my thinking of it. Are they the type animals that will eat up everything? Oh, thank you very much. Looking good. So thank you. The image that I'm getting across is looking good. And because I did upgrade the camera a bit. You know, the other one I had, obviously you could tell it's different than the other one. Hopefully you can tell it's different. But the thing about it is, I am out here, and I love the fact that I'm producing a quality show. That's what I really like. All the information that I give on this show, you can rely on, because I will not put anything out there that will that you can't take to the bank, or that I don't know myself, or that I'm guessing about, and that sort of thing. I don't like doing that kind of show. I've seen people do it, and you know, I like it when I see an honest show when a guy or a lady doesn't really know, and they say, "This is what I do. This is what works for me. This is how I've been doing it for the last 10 years." Then I have credibility with that person. I know they're telling you honestly what works for them. And so I have lots of respect. Things that irritate me while I'm online. When I go around, I look, by the way, I look at almost any and every garden video I can possibly go look at. Yes, let's see. I look at every garden video I could possibly look at. But here's ones that irritate me is people who try to lure you into a product and tell you that I grew this, and in order to grow this, you need this in order to work, and it's made by this company. Oh, and by the way, I only get a small percentage of it. That's what they say. And I'm thinking, why are you doing this? Why are you lowering these people into thinking that this is the only product on earth to buy, to make this watermelon grow like this, or to make this carrot grow as pretty and as tasty as it does? Stop it. Stop it. It's just irritating. You're trying to play with my intelligence. I like a good, honest garden show that comes on and says, "Hello, how you doing? My name is, and I am, and I've been gardening this number of years, and here's what I've been doing that's been successful for me." Because I've had books that showed you, when I first started gardening, I had books that were, one was a complete, I always bring this book up because it's sad that someone actually wrote a book that big and with all that information in it. It said, this is a complete guide to gardening. So I'm trying to learn everything, the correct way. So I get the book, and I start turning pages. It says, first thing, till up the ground. Found out that was a misnomer. That was a mistake. You don't till your ground unless you love to tear up the homes of the biology in your soil. Unless you enjoy doing that, unless you have no problem with that, then leave it alone. Now, because I'll give a good example. There's a neighbor of mine that's getting ready to start a garden, and I don't know how to tell him that, oh, by the way, because he has this big, pretty tiller, and he's dying to use it probably. And I don't know how to tell him, hey, by the way, I don't use a tiller anymore. So if I show you how to garden, we're not going to till this soil. We're not going to till it, because you're going to be setting your soil back as opposed to going forward. Yep. And so that's where I'm at with it. We'll use grab a shovel and yeah, because what I do in the garden is different now. It's a different ball game. I do not go out there with a tiller and rip everything up and then put in all of these soil amendments and then grow all of these weeds and then turn around and till again. And in the meantime, the soil's getting harder and harder and harder. Or it's because we use, up here we have primarily a clay soil, and it gets hard once the rain starts hitting it and washing it away. Now, when you use when you do like I do, and I trim down, Food Farmers Permaculture always call it chop and drop, because that's what it is. I trim down all of my weeds and all of my grass and everything in the area, and I leave all of these roots in the ground. And these roots help me hold on to my soil. And these roots, the ones that die and decay, they create food for my biology. Okay, so I leave everything in there. Now, my stuff can grow. I'm using a mulch made from grass clippings. Put it out about, like, if I got a plant here that's a tomato plant, 15 inches around, all the way around, put it down, and What will happen when I put this mulch down? It will fertilize my ground. It will keep the temperature proper in my ground, and it will also keep my moisture there. So I got all this stuff going on from grass clippings. From grass clippings. So that being said, it's going to be a beautiful thing. I'm telling people, make certain that you do what's right for your garden, as opposed to what you've seen in these magazines where everything is perfect and it's pretty and everything's lined up a perfect line. I used to garden that way. I do not garden that way anymore. I do not garden that way. I grow some of the prettiest looking zucchinis, the prettiest looking yellow squash, the prettiest looking cucumbers, and all of it is grown in a garden that when you walk by, you say, daggone it, that person needs to cut their daggone with grass. But what they're looking at is a garden, and the garden is grown naturally. It looks natural. If you went into my property, the only thing would give my property away that there's food back there is the fact that there's corn growing and there's cherry trees, full blossom with, full grown cherry trees with cherries everywhere on the trees. That's how my cherry trees take off. They just have cherries everywhere. Peach trees can hide it because they're like a greenish peach until it gets more towards fall, which I have less traffic in my area, and then that way you could, know that there's no peaches to be had until it's too late, which I've eaten them all. But I like to have everything in a wonderful, beautiful. I grow different plants with different plants. It doesn't bother me to put corn next to squash and squash next to what they call it, cucumbers, and have them wrapped around the corn and going up and everything. I don't have a problem with putting beans with the corn. I don't have a problem with putting peppers with tomatoes and have them growing. I don't have that relationship works for me. And I put them in the ground, and I make sure that. And when the tomatoes grow, what makes me really happy about a tomato is when it's perfectly. You got all the beautifulness of these beautiful fruit, and it looks great. And everything you put in there, everything you put underneath this plant, everything you put in the soil is beautiful and is ready. And is now I fertilize. I see people do this. They'll dig a hole and they'll drop the fertilizer down the hole and mix it up. I don't like to do that. I like to mix it up on the surface, cover it up with the soil, mix it on the surface, put the plant down in there, mix it up on the surface, because everything falls down. That's what it does. Not up, down. So I like to fertilize from the top down. So it takes it time, but it gets down to it. Then I do also a feed, which is a foliar feed, which is a liquid feed. And I spoon feed my plants. Spoon feed. I go out to my garden on a regular basis. I look and see what needs something, what looks like that looks like it needs a spray it down and watch it perk up. And that's how I do it. I do not waste time. I understand how plants are. Now, if you associate plants with children or being like yourself, you'll know that they need to eat. A lot of small meals are better than one big meal. And if you feed these plants on a regular basis, they will grow. If you put it out there and then get tired of it or hung up at work, you get things you're doing in your life and going out to wherever you have to go and do whatever you have to do, those plants will reflect that. They will start slowing down. They will become a plant that's that will begin to fall back as opposed to going forward. That is what you don't want. So that being said, I'm just saying. And so you want to go forward. Soil is the absolute key to growing beautiful, well-balanced plants, the soil. And the soil should not get worse every year. It should get better. And the way to make the soil work, it is just so simple. It is absolutely so simple. Is to add organic matter to the soil. It's that simple. It's not brain surgery, difficult stuff to work on. It is simple, adding organic matter. And no one wants you to know that. Huge company, multi-millionaires are selling fertilizers, and they want you to think every single year you grow a garden, you must run to the big box store. You must. And you must get these products, and you must, in order to grow. And you see the gardeners that come on YouTube, and they have a right to be there. They have a right to say, hello, how you doing? I grew this 3,000-pound pumpkin, and all I use is Miracle-Gro. And see, Miracle-Gro loves that. Oh yeah, they'll eat that up. They'll look at that pumpkin and associate that with that's the only way it can be done. When in fact, some of the biggest pumpkins in the world was grown with natural things like compost. Tea was grown with compost, beautiful soil, things of that nature. Not all of them was grown with. It's a guy. Oh God, no, I'm not gonna call his name, but he grows huge pumpkins, and he uses all these weird containers of additives, and they had these weird names on them, like a root buster, or names like that, like monster growth, things like that. You know, they try to sell it on, like you got something. When you break it down, you go to what is inside of this colorful container that he's marketing. It's ingredients that comes from where? The earth. That's all it is. Ingredients that come from the earth. Someone figured it out, put it in a container, and sold it. And they don't care what they mark it up as. They don't care what they mark it up as. They grow, and they sell it. It is a product from the earth. It's not like they went out into space and got it and brought it back. So just like they created that, you can create something that will work for you that might be 10 times better than what's in that bottle. So do some experimenting when you're out there. Don't be afraid, but just use basic knowledge on what you're trying to do. But don't always stick by the script. Look at it and say to yourself, okay, this is a plant. It's alive. What does it need? It needs water, temperature, food. Okay. Okay, it needs attention. All right. Let's find out what else it needs. Oh, in order for it to develop these fruits, aren't that many bees around. I think I'll go in the house, get some Q-tips, and go tickle these different blossoms in the morning. Is the best time. Tickle these blossoms and move this pollen around these plants so I can get more tomatoes. Tomatoes are basically, you just grab the whole plant and shake it. Just shake it every once in a while. Just shake the whole plant. Shake the whole plant. And what will happen is that pollen will drop off and drop into other of those blossoms, and you get tons of tomatoes doing that. But some people teach you that, go there with the finger and pluck the little things. And why do I want to do that when I can shake the whole plant? Why? Just shake the whole plant. The plants such as squash and zucchini and things like nature, early in the morning, Q-tip. In that one, 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 in that one. But if you want to sit around like I've done some years and try to wait on the pollinators to do it, you may be left out, because sometimes, come on, you don't see them. A man did that to the bees. The man did that. And you do have some pollinators out there, but don't leave it up to the pollinators to do what you need done, because they're not out there sometimes. It's not their fault. It's just that we have ravished this earth in such ways that you want to make sure that you get them pollinated. And that means that sometimes you got to do it yourself. That being said, take care of food forest permaculture. Earth. Peace out. Food forest permaculture is headed on to different places to go, and I got to tell you, make sure that you try some new experimental things with your plants this year. Also grow more than what you need, plant more than what you need, when you do your seedlings, if you're doing seedlings, plant more than what you need because you can't get that time back. So peppers. Oh, I'm excited, folks. There's a pepper. I'm not going to tell you to go out and get it, but if you do find it and you want to try it, go ahead and do it. Called Big Jim. Big Jim. I am not selling the seeds. I'm not anything like that. They call Big Jim. And these seeds are I found on eBay. I don't know what the seller's name is, but they look like healthy seeds. And when I got them, they look pretty good. And they call Big Jim. And I want to try them out because I'm excited about them. They're almost as big and as long as like that. And they're supposed to be like a mild hot. There's another pepper that I have that I'm definitely curious about getting started as well. Jalapenos will be a part of my garden as well. Bell peppers, I'm thinking, should I do some bell peppers, folks, this year? What do you think? What do you think? Should I do some bell peppers this year? I think I'm not, because I think I will have some space left for them. But definitely make sure that you grow enough food this year. That's what I want each and every one of you to do. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Well, the bell peppers it is. There will be some bell peppers in the ground then. So we'll have some videos of the bell peppers. That's what we'll do. So I'm going to color for bell peppers. Now, if anybody remember the video that I put up some time ago, and I showed me walking through the grocery store, and I was looking at peppers where you could save money on pepper seeds. And because listen at me, folks, for a second. It's going to get downright and dirty this year. Okay, why not go to the grocery store, find ripe peppers, pick up a few peppers, go in and take the seeds, allow them to cure on a plate for 2 or 3 days, and then put them in a pot, grow them out, and then turn around and move them out into the soil of the backyard and grow peppers straight from there. Why are you buying pepper seeds in a pack if you don't have to? If you go online and you see pepper prices where you get 50 seeds for $3, $4, $5, don't do that. Don't do that. Go to the store. If you see a bell pepper that's red, yellow, orange, buy that sucker, take the seeds out, and grow your own bell peppers. That way you get to eat the pepper, and you also get to use the seeds. And even the bell peppers are expensive. So if you get just one bell pepper, you're going to get about, oh my God, how many seeds in a bell pepper? Some people say about 60, 70 seeds. And if you grow in a big plot of just peppers, of big bell peppers, that's a lot of bell peppers for one pepper. Let's talk about maximizing your dollar. I saved some sweet pepper seeds from store-bought peppers. They popped right up. Beautiful. I like that story you put there, Miss Missy. You saved the seeds and they popped right up. I love your story. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. I like that. Save the seeds and they pop right up. And I like that story. That's a beautiful thing. When I hear her say that inspires even me because I like that story. That felt good. Her telling the story, it goes into your bones. You feel it. I tried making sure that from the U.S. foreign bought here's what yeah right. I mean, everybody's saying buying American seeds. That's a good deal, and hopefully the Americans that you're buying them from, that they are reputable individuals, because you know how they do it. I say, Missy, that is so much fun. Yeah, Missy, that is so much fun. Yes, it is. Missy, threw that story out there. And let's see. Yes, Sue Miller. Let's see where we are. Sue Miller. Try to make sure that they are from the U.S. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure they're from the U.S. Nice. Yes. Yeah, Missy put that out there. She said, I go get them and sprinkle them in the ground and they jump out the ground. And I like that. because that's what I'm telling you. I mean, needs to be done. We need to fight back like we never had before and make certain that we are the biggest and baddest gardeners on the planet. And we're getting it right here at the Morning Gardener Show. Information being passed around is making us awesome. There's a gentleman that comes on, and you've seen him on here a couple of times. He said, you know, I can't think of the name of his channel. I did something on his channel he didn't like, which was he said, "Hey, go on Facebook and become a friend of whatever. Is it Good Garden, or is it Growing Good? Is it Grow Good? Best Garden or something like that." Anyway, and so what I did, I went on his channel and I mentioned that I had a seed giveaway, Morning Garden Show coming up on, you know, a certain date I had on there, the 20 on Monday, and so I did that. And he got upset, so he booted me out of there. But I was trying to get the word across, and I didn't read all the details he had about what rules and regulations he had on everything. But I apologize if I, crossed him the wrong way. But I just want to get the word out there. I just thought, oh yeah, that'd be a great place to get the word out. And so he said, oh no, you ain't advertising. Here, click and cut me loose. So in turn, I just kind of felt like, wow, giving away seeds. I wasn't making a profit off of them. I said giveaway. I said seed giveaway. But he said, no, you're not going to do that here. So he has a right to that. But I'm so happy about the fact that a lot of people are getting to know the Morning Garden Show and getting to hear about the Morning Garden Show. And I'm glad of that. But this is still a family-like show. I just want to make sure that people who are getting the information, it will help them grow food. It will help their families eat better. It will be there. They can teach their children or their grandchildren how to grow food. And that's what's important. And I'm serving that purpose. I'm online. I'm showing people how to eat and save some money, because the money's all tight everywhere you go. And the government, I'm going to throw this out there real quick, keep saying you're getting a second stimulus check, you get another stimulus check, or you might be getting a stimulus check. I don't know what's going on with the stimulus checks. I just know that I'll keep going to work and people say, oh, I got mine. Or I said, well, how much was it? And they said, oh, it was $500. And I said, wait a minute, but they said it was going to be $1,400. They said, oh, no, that's from the state of Maryland. And then you got another check coming from the federal government. And I said, but the state of Maryland wants to pay taxes on it. And I'm like, wow. I said, what's going on here? All this, So anyway, dysfunctional government. Say it with me now. Dysfunctional government. So that's what's going on. Dysfunctional. They fight more than daddy's kids on the other side of town not getting along with his married kids. I don't know, but it's dysfunctional. Let's see, you lost me. You lost me. I am old. Don't understand. No, you didn't miss anything. No, I'm just, careful. I don't know what that means, but she says be careful. Okay, we'll do. I'll be careful, but I will say that it was a joke. He had to expose you to. Yeah. It's hope everybody's okay. But I am the Morning Gardener, and I am here to pass on as much information as I can possibly pass on to help people grow more food. Thinking how you work with other growers. Now let's see. How do I network with other growers? How do I? Let's see. Why? I see why that's you network with other growers. Oh, okay, I got you now. Yeah, but he didn't want me on his channel. And so he booted me out, and so it was okay. But he comes on and he does a video. I think it does one like once a month or once every 2 weeks. He gives out real good, solid information. However, I was like, wow. He never answers anything that you ever send him. He never will answer anything that you ever send him. I guess maybe there's some people that he may answer, but I've never gotten an answer from him one way or the other to help me with understanding why did he do this method as opposed to using this particular, But just, keep on doing what you keep on doing and keep on moving forward. That's what you're going to do. Keep moving forward. Now, tonight, as I said earlier, I feel good. I'm off tonight. I get a chance to do my show this late. It's now 5:53. I get a chance to do my show late this night, and I love it. I have never had a big audience on the show, and I will find out why that is and try to make the show a little better, because I've seen people with half the amount of knowledge that some of you and myself have, and they have hundreds of people on their show, and they talk, and it kind of, it's like a I don't know, I can't call it arrogance. It's sad because you look at it and you go, they don't really care, because I really care when I come online, when I care about what others think and what they feel. And so that's why I'm very open. I try to answer every question I can. And I try to do what I can to make certain that the information is dead on, because I'm not going to say anything that I'm not sure of. But then you'll see them, and people will post some money up to them. They'll post some money. And I saw one guy, and he was so arrogant about it. He was like, oh, hey, all right, Amy. So as I was saying earlier, and that's how he said it to her. And she just posted $10 to this man. Just posted $10. All he said was, first he kept talking, so anyway, and then, Amy. So like I was saying, and I was like, oh my God, no, he didn't just do that. I said, oh my goodness, they didn't have to give him that. They didn't have to give him that. It was sad. Somebody post that name up there, bam. Oh, hello, how you doing, Mr. John Smith? Just posted to me. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And they know that you care. They're going to be posting money up to you. They could take home and buy, they could keep home, and buy a grocery, and then giving it to you and trying to help you out. And then you're going to be kind of nonchalant about it. No, don't do that. You let the people know you appreciate what you do. Folks, this is the end of my program this year. Excuse me. Today, just for today. I had a lot of fun. I got a good sized audience in here tonight. 15 people came in here. I think at one time it might have been at 16. It felt good. People were in here and they were talking. And look at all these people posting up comments. Let me try to answer some of this. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see. It would help if you had a... See that? You said the same thing. It would help if you had a set day. If you had a set day to go live. Okay. You said it. I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to start setting a date. Now, it would also, I like that idea. I really like it. Yeah, but some people about coming YouTube, all flash and no substance, growing food and trashing it. Let me just okay. I see what you're saying here. A lot of people come in and they're about just a lot of flash, a lot of talk, a lot of beautiful cameras and graphics and all that stuff like that. And when you get down to the nitty gritty, you listen to them. It's not much substance there. You are absolutely right. You are 100% right. It's really nothing there because one thing you don't hear them constantly talking about, and this is the one thing I want to point out that I want you to pay attention to when you start going to these other gardening channels and they are discussing growing things. Number one, they don't tell you how they're growing things. Videos, a lot of videos will not tell you how they're growing things, what they're putting in, how often they're watering, how long the plant's been in the ground, what kind of soil they have. They won't tell you these things. Another thing they won't tell you is soil. They won't tell you what that soil is. This is sandy soil. This is loamy soil. This is clay soil. Oh, this plant I found grow better in clay soil. Here's how I work with my clay soil. Here's what you can do if you have clay soil. They won't do that. They only show you perfect flowers that grew, perfect plants and vegetables, how large they are, and they won't tell you nothing about the fact that you need to do this or you need to do that, or here's how I grew it, here's what fertilizer I use, here's what compost I use, here's how often I compost, and they won't do that because it's not in their interest to teach you how to be a better gardener. Because once you start showing vegetables and fruits that are bigger and more attractive than the person who showed you the technique, then you pull away from his audience and or her audience. And they don't want you doing all that. Sometimes it's just that little thing that they don't want you. And I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I want to go on there and have somebody say, "Oh, I got this off the Morning Gardening Show, and he showed me this, and I changed it into this, or I added this to it, and now it's bigger, and it's a better deal." Yes, I like that because I want to see people grow more food. I want to see little kids on TV. On the internet, growing food based on how their parents are showing them. And they are showing them based on information you passed on to them or some other gardener passed on to them that actually works. And I said actually works because sometimes they're showing you stuff that they have no clue what they're talking about. They're telling you information that's just off the chain. I don't know. Your show is great. The worse it gets, the worse it gets. Food great, and more people will come to your channel. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. The word will eventually get out. People are going to notice that when they start growing more and better foods, they will see that the information has proven itself. But I'm telling you, I see guys get on the internet, and it's just interesting. And they only been gardening for a short period of time, and they're telling you must be done this way. Little words like that, must be done this way, or can't be done that way, and or you must buy this product in order to. When you hear that, you got to go, wait a minute, that person is a salesperson, or this person is a person is not quite sure. They're telling me something that isn't correct. Because a lot of times you can grow tomatoes many different ways. It's not just one set way to grow tomatoes. Or corn or potatoes. It's not. It's many different ways you can grow it. So people, based on their environment and what they have on hand, do different things. So you can learn from everybody. So that's how that works. Got to go, Morning Garden. See you next time. Thank you very much, Mr. Price, for stopping by. Always a pleasure. And that's and somebody put the note up there. That's horrible. And I don't know what's horrible, but don't leave yet. Do not leave yet. Okay, I'll stick around for a little while longer. And you say, don't leave yet. And I thought I was getting on people's nerves in here because they were like, So I start seeing the little counter go down when people start pulling out of the room. And I go, okay, they're getting enough of me today. They said, this guy can talk. God, he can talk. Let me just turn the sound down while he's talking. But I got to tell you, one day they're going to have YouTube set up where you can have a whole bunch of people on screen and you can be talking to them, and they can talk back to you. Oh, that would be great. Oh my goodness. I got to say, you're yeah. Oh my goodness. I love some of the comments. I'm just reading some of the comments that are up here. Wow. That's how you. Yeah. I mean, really. I'm just excited, folks. I'm just excited. I said, what are you? What is your favorite tomato to grow? All right, I'm going to say this. Okay, goodbye now. It was very nice having you here. And don't let this be your last time here. Subscribe to this channel and make sure that because some people say it pops up late, but just make sure you're there when it comes back around when I do it on the show. Thank you for coming by, and you have a good day. I want to say something to you, Sandy. Here we go. What is my favorite tomato to grow? I gotta say, it's a brandy wine. It's a brandy wine, and I got another one which is Cherokee Purple. They're not extremely big. They're not extremely pretty, but the flavor in those two, you can't touch them. Or as MC Hammer once said, you can't touch this. Because I'm telling you, those two, I will save the seeds of them. I will walk a mile in the rain to get seeds for those two right there. Those two right there. They do well. Brandywine and also Cherokee Purple. Now this year, I'm growing a black Brandywine. I've got try those. Thanks. Oh, absolutely. You will not. You will not. And I repeat, because you like to set up all of your displays beautifully, and I give it to you. You definitely have taste. You definitely have style. And I looked at and you just make me hungry when I watch your channel. But the thing about it is, I want to. Now you could even get a bowl of tomatoes, I believe, and you would set them up so pretty it would make people go, "Oh man, look at this." She even got the sprayed water on them where the shoulder drops of water on them, where the tomatoes look incredible. Put that music in the background and say tomatoes, quality grown from day one. You know how they do it in those commercials. And they always try to use the deep voice. Yeah, beautiful tomato. Brandywine. Oh my God. Brandywine and also Cherokee Purple. They're both heirlooms, and that's another thing I love about them. Like I said earlier, I saved the seeds from them. Heirloom tomatoes to me taste better than hybrids. Hybrids will sometimes produce more tomatoes. You know, they crossed them more and made them produce more and firmer and prettier and like that. I don't care about none of that. I want flavor. I want quality, and that's what I want. Still here. I love. Let's see. It's purple, Cherokee Purple. Try Brandywine this year. Absolutely, you said the truth right there. Beautiful statement right there. As they still here, I love Cherokee Purple. Cherokee Purple is really good. Now, but here's the deal: you cut them about that thick, and you put them in. You take them. You fix the burger beautiful on the grill, loading it up with onions and bell pepper, diced, and you put all that in there, and you put the garlic and everything in there, and you cook this thing. It was beautiful, and then you sprinkle on top of the burger some jalapeno peppers, and then you put on top of that jalapeno peppers, and you put some hot sauce on top of that, and then you put some of that what we call it, folks, a Swiss cheese. And put a metal bowl over top of it to melt the cheese. You toast it. Excuse me, folks. You put on top of that, you put the buns on the grill and let them golden brown toast. And then you take it off the grill and you got your tomatoes, your lettuce, and everything. And you put it in the bread, which is the freshest Kaiser rolls you can find. And you bite and you begin to chew. As everything in your mouth gets excited and it starts sending all these signals to the brain, and your brain starts releasing all these chemicals that makes your whole body tingle with this sensation of flavor. Okay, all right. Okay, you're something else. You're something else. Oh my goodness. I didn't know I was doing that, but I just gotta say, hello everyone, Morning Gardener and chat. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Lisa came in at the butt end of it. And see, I was getting ready to roll out, and then more people coming in, and I'm saying, well, I gotta hang around for a couple more minutes. I gotta hang around because I'm just saying, excuse me. But that's my deal. And when I do the grill thing, I go And all my cuttings that I take off my trees, I save some. I put underneath the trees as the fertilizer. And off the cherry trees and the apple trees, especially the apple trees, I cut them all up and I put them in there on the charcoals, and I let that smoke come up. Because well, listen to this. Why am I gonna go to the store and pay good solid money for apple tree branches in a bag when I'm growing apple trees? I got 10 of them out there growing, okay? I get apple cuttings all day to put on my fire in the spring when I get ready to do what I got to do. And the same goes for the cherry trees. The cherry trees. Yes, make me hungry. Yes, you are making me hungry. Thank you very much for that. I'm telling you, oh, doesn't get any better. And I like to take the corn and wrap it. Excuse me. No, I used to do it that way. Now I take the corn, cut it right off the stalk, lay it on the grill. One side really hot, one side kind of, hot, but not as hot. And I got to tell you something. Notice I never say I shuck the corn. I cook it just like it is. And one of the best corns on earth, and there probably are a lot of good sweet corns out there. A lot of good sweet corns out there. But I like peaches and cream corn. There's a gardener, what's his name? Garden Rebel. And he, nice gentleman. He sent me some seeds once. And he sent me a number of seeds. All I asked for was a couple seeds. He sent me all these seeds, some he saved and some, I don't know where he got them from, but he sent me these seeds. And some of those seeds were corn seeds, and it was peaches and cream. And I took these out there and I planted them, and they were on the property. And I grew them up. Raccoons got some of them because they know how to pull a whole stock down and take what they want. I don't mind them taking some as long as they leave you some. The thing about it is I started eating the corn, just tasting it. I wound up eating all of the corn that I grew right there in the field. Never took them in the house to cook them. That's how good they were. And the only thing I was embarrassed about was that people could look over there if they wanted to and see that I was eating raw corn. And for some reason, I don't know what this strange quirk I have. I didn't want nobody to see me eating raw corn. And so I started putting them on the grill in the husk and everything. I didn't do anything to them. I just put them on the grill. And I would turn them until they got brown and on both sides. And so, I would then peel them back and put them in the plate with the burgers and everything, and the bell peppers stuffed with some rice and different ingredients. And I gotta say to you, oh my goodness, folks. Oh my goodness. Talk about incredible. The corn was absolutely incredible. And ever since then, there's always been peaches and cream in my garden. Peaches and cream corn. If I grow corn that year, peaches and cream. I know it. You've been saying it for years. Yes, peaches and cream. See, right now, it's hard to focus because I'm thinking of peaches and cream. It's incredible corn. And this year, I also have I purchased another corn, which they claim grows well in Maryland. And you can actually Google what corn grows well in your particular climate. I did that, and it says Silver Queen grows well here in Maryland. Grows a 7-foot stalk, which grows taller than peaches and cream. But I don't care about the height when it comes to growing beautiful corn. Oh my goodness, corn is incredible. You grow it, it's just a big stalk of ass, if you ask me. And you feed it properly, and you have all of these. This corn just does well. It just does well if you pay attention to it. And my pear trees have been doing. I got one pear tree that's been doing incredibly well. And this was the one that was bought off one of these uh, nurseries online that's no longer around. They did a poor job when it was there, but out of $400, $500, I did get a couple trees out of them that actually worked. I think it was like one, two, maybe about 4 trees. I mean, they were little thin. They was about this big when you got them. That's how big around they were. They were $10 each, and it would take you. You have to get them and soak them for 8 hours to get them hydrated again. I would dig the hole first because I want them to go right in the ground, and I put them in the ground, and most of them did not survive because they've been in the mail for like 3 weeks, drying out, and whatever. They sent the cheapest shipping on earth they could find, and they stayed in the mail. That being said, this particular tree made it, and you should have saw how it was going. It was touch and go. This tree it was sad, and many times I looked at it and said, "I'm pulling it out of the ground, and I'm gonna get me another tree." And it just was like that, and it didn't show any sign. I watched it weekly, daily. It showed no signs of growth, and it went on for months. It just stood there. And I looked at it and remember that when I put it in the ground, I only had one single or maybe 2 roots to it. And it did not do well. I remember leaving it there and saying, this tree is dead. This tree's just waiting to die. It has no leaves on it, no branches on it, nothing. It was just a stick. Went out there one day and I saw a bump on it. It's a slight bump. It wasn't even a real big bump. It was just a little bump, and it was green. And I looked at it and said, "Oh my God, this tree is alive. It's still alive." And the tree stayed there with the bump, and then there was another bump, and basically they started becoming branches. And next thing you know, this tree is standing there today at 20 feet tall, produces numbers of pears each year, and I'm happy about that. And I have no idea what kind of pears they are. I bought a Bartlett, but these pears, if anyone got any idea out there, I'll be glad to hear some of your suggestions. They're just green. They're green pear, grows full around like a light bulb, short up top, green, sweet taste. I would say I haven't seen. See, I was used to Bartlett having that reddish or brownish kind of blush on it. And I think I once saw that blush on them. But it could be because of the fact that they're not getting enough sunlight to them, because there's a lot of branches in the tree. But they're like a greenish color, and they taste pretty good, you know. And the tree now produces well. The next tree that's next to it is one I purchased from, what is the name of that tree? I purchased it from Stock Brothers, and it's called a Delicious. And it's one of their number one sold trees. And so I just bought it, because it looked like a Bartlett to me. And the picture that they put there helps you make the decision. It shows all these tons of it shows all these tons of pears on it. So they make you think that, this tree is going to be very prolific. It's going to just produce all of these thousands and thousands over the years that you own it, pears. But I bought it because the name is Delicious. And I said, let me buy this tree. Put it in the ground, immediately took off. Did it produce? It's like the 3rd year. This might be the 3rd or 4th year. And it might produce this year. I haven't seen a blossom on it or anything since I bought it. But the other one did the same thing. So if I get this Delicious going, and I get this other tree going, and then they start crossing back and forward, let's say if they decide that their blossom is at the same time, it's going to be a wonderful thing, folks. And I also got a tree out there that keeps producing all these plums, and then it drops them before they even get any size to them, and that's called the Stanley plum. Bought that from Stock Brothers too. Quality trees when I get them. And then I got the other tree, which is a Santa Rose. It has not produced any pears yet. excuse me, any plums yet. But that was a tree that was given to me. Watch this, folks. The company that went out of business, that took all my $450, $500 monies. One day I was in the mail, 10 trees came bundled together, and they were half dead. And I got on the air like I'm talking to you people now, which are, I asked you guys, I said, what do you think I should do? I said, because I really don't have a lot of room to waste for trees. What do you think I should do? They said, I think you should plant them. That's what they said. And I said, follow what they said, because sometimes two heads are better than one. I put them in the ground. Santa Rose, which was, I don't have anything as skinny as it was when it first came here. This is too big. It was a skinny little stick, and it says Santa Rose. I put it in the ground, the Santa Rose, and it was so thin. It looked like it was thin. It looked something like about the thickness of one of these vine branches, like one of these here. And it took off. And I haven't complained about it yet, because it took off and it just grew beautifully. And then I had another one, which is called a Duchess pear. Oh, I forgot about that one. That was one of the $10 trees, very small, had one single root on it. I put it in the ground anyway, because I said, this is, and I actually said that, and I know better than that. I said, this is not going to make it. And I put it in the ground, had one single root. One single root, folks, not two, one single root that was about 3 inches long. And I stuck it in the ground, and it sat there, and I said, it'll die. At least I tried to give it a chance. And I put it over in an area with horrible soil and left it there. And now that's one of the biggest trees I got in the yard. One of the biggest trees I got in the yard. Beautiful thing. And that one is the Duchess pear. Always wanted to grow the Duchess pear. Now, why does this pear grow these thorns on them? They're thick, long thorns on them. And I was like, wait, whoa, why this tree's got thorns on them? And I looked it up. Sure enough, some pear trees have thorns on them. So, and plus it's a standard. So I got to watch this tree. This tree, I cannot allow it to get real big, because trees that are standard, sometimes they can get 30 feet tall. But you can keep any tree small, but you got to stay on it. The best time to prune a tree to keep it small is in the summer. It's in the summer. If you want it to stay small, in the summer. When you prune them back in the fall and the winter, you make the tree go through a lot of changes where it starts producing all of these water shoots, and that's what it does. That's what it does. All right, good people, this is the Morning Garden Show. I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. It's been 2 hours we've been online, 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 58 seconds. So thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Morning Garden Show. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and remember to keep on growing. Thank you.